to the moon.
Hey, it's you! Come on in and join us!
Yo, we've always known what Frank Sinatra sounds like, but today we're gonna find out what he smells like. Well, not now.
It's a beautiful morning with the Barbershop Duet.
Hi, I'm Marcus Klinger with Klinger Vocal Studio.
And I'm Sarah Vincent with Sarah Vincent Virtual Pilates.
What? On Wednesdays and Saturdays.
We're the Barbershop Duet.
Hey, y'all, come on in. We're grateful that you're here to spend this time with us. And if you happen to be here during the live premiere, we'd love to meet you. Yay! And we'd love for you to meet the Whiff Pack, an awesome group of folks all hanging out there. And they'd love to know what you're shaving with this week.
They would. And for our mention, speaking of the Whiff Pack, we revamped our YouTube page layout. We used to list the channels that had inspired us at the bottom of the page. And now we have changed that so it includes all the Whiff Pack members that have their own YouTube channel.
Yes, and if you are one of those Whiff Pack members and you have a channel that we have forgotten to list there, please let us know because we want to be able to send our viewers to you. Mm-hmm. We don't do the shaving and you guys do, and that's an important part of the hobby, and we watch them too. So we want all of our viewers to be able to watch you too.
So for our soap today, this is actually a collaboration between Shannon Soaps and the Razor Company. But then when we were digging, this is also an homage to the scent that supposedly Frank Sinatra wore himself.
Yes, and the beloved Creed homage, y'all. So let's strap in and meet this soap. All right, so for Meet the Soap today, there's something a little different going on here because we have covered a bunch of Creed homages, y'all. We're giant fans. There are those that are a little bit different for us, and those have risen to the surface. The Executive Man from Sterling and Sharpdress Man, which are, of course, your Adventus and your Green Irish Tweed homages. Those are a little bit different, and those are the first places that we found those. The rest of the Creeds for us in the homages are a little bit sort of similar in their spiciness, in their herbiness, and then they have little offshoots in other directions, but they share a lot of the same personality.
Yes.
This one, y'all, I think this one might be different. A, Francis wore it. B, this seems to me like it's starting out a little bit more like a barbershop. So hold on, y'all, because we're going to read some set notes. Exclusive to the Razor Company, Shannon Soaps Iberia, scent inspired by Creed Bois de Portugal. Top note. Okay, ready? Hold on. Hold on. Bergamot. Middle note, lavender. You're done with top and middle. So hold on. Wait.
Simple.
Wait. This is different because generally the Creed set notes are all over the map, y'all. But this is starting out like more of a traditional shave soap. I mean, how many do we have that start with bergamot lavender? A lot.
Right,
and this is kind of like a big lane for shaving soaps at the very beginning, especially in the more feminine lane. It was a bergamot lavender. So I'm wondering if this is like the Creed barbershop sort of thing, maybe. And then in the base notes is where we're going to diverge a little bit. So underneath the bergamot lavender, we're looking at
sandalwood, cedars for some woods, and then we have vetiver and ambergris. Interesting.
So, y'all, it is my contention that we may be looking at Creed Does Barbershop with some miracles and wonders hiding in the basement.
Well, we got to get our nose on that.
But I have been, yes, thank you. I have been known to be wrong on many an occasion. So let's find out what we might find when we open this box. Please don't judge us. We know she needs a bath. She's getting one right after.
She is. Don't tell her.
Oh, y'all. So we were going to get this during Classic Aftershave Month, and we accidentally got a different one.
We did.
This feels like there's more in here. Wait a minute.
I think I may have snuck some other things.
Oh, what did we get here? Let's see. We've got an invoice here. Okay. Oh, your facial clay bar is here.
Oh, right. I forgot.
This could be its own mention, y'all.
We need a new backup. This lives in the shower.
Oh.
There it is.
Iberia. Y'all, these Shannon soaps clock out at under $10.
They do.
More of a budget-minded shaver, and they are fantastic. Oh, look at the little rivets. All right, y'all, we're going to fly you to the moon with this first impression.
Marcus is ready.
I think you need to go first because I will ask you what Frank Sinatra smells like.
Okay,
take it.
I'm very curious because we did find what Elvis smells like apparently, and a few of the other stars here.
Elvis smells like too much brute. He would put on 3 bottles before he would go on stage.
Insane. Okay, Lenny, you ready?
Take it.
You ready? You want to take a
What
whiff?
does bois mean? Is it water?
Smell good?
Bois de Portugal.
Okay, yeah, I was hoping we're saying that right. Our perfumer friends, let us know.
It's French.
It does have a fun throwback to it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to say a classic aftershave homage, but there's something that is taking me on a time warp for sure.
Nice. So, like, what's the sense you're getting off the top?
I get an overall, like, a little bit more of a green fougere kind of a zone.
Yeah.
Like, so I know it started with those other two, but the greens and the woods are kind of actually what I'm getting more throughout the whiff here.
Right. More of the sandalwood, more of the stuff in the bottom notes.
Yeah, more the vetiver vibe, but it's not like I'm not smelling grass. It's getting more of a hint to like what's used in some of the classic aftershave homages, but it has a little bit more of that clean cologne like vibe happening. So I think that's where the lavender and the other things are part of this.
Nice.
I could totally see Frank pulling this off.
You got a little ambergris coming through?
A little, but just enough to make it a deep kind of scent.
Right. For those of you a little unfamiliar, we apologize, but ambergris.
But there's something. I do feel like the era that he represents is coming through here well.
Right.
In a very cool, different way.
Not only the era, but just like the vibe that Frank Sinatra presented. Right. The tuxedo, the well-dressed, well-presented Rat Pack guy, right?
Yes,
I if he's going to be disheveled, it's just a slightly undone bow tie.
He's definitely got a collared shirt on. You know, like there's a little more of that
a little
bougie,
ruffle to the shirt, maybe?
A little bouginess happening here. But it's fun to actually know what it is homaging to, that it is an actual Creed based scent. And there's some quality coming in here. I know the scent notes are pretty simple, and here you can tell that they're all connecting together to make a full scent.
Right.
I don't want to say it's a simple scent that's coming through, but they're combining so well that it's kind of like a nice solid scent throughout the whiff.
Now let's compare. We just reviewed Virgin Island water. They might be night and day. How do they compare? What is, assuming they're two Creed scents, right? What
this is a much deeper, consistent greenish note throughout. Where the other one does more have like the aquatic-y greenish kind of lane. This is much more, I would say, more like that fougere kind of zone.
You're getting some serious vetiver off of this, aren't you?
Yeah, but I wouldn't know that I would pick out vetiver. But it's just giving me like the green, herby kind of side.
That vibe,
yeah, maybe oak mossy. Like there's other greens in here that I would totally be able to jump on.
See, I would have thought Frank Sinatra would have worn something more like Angel Share, something like cognac
but I don't think they had those yet.
Well, something more like syrupy sweet of those aftershaves of the 60s, but hold on. I don't think you could even buy Creed back then. I don't think like somebody like me on my Disneyland sweatshirt and like corn dog could like walk in and buy a Creed cologne. I think they had to be bought by like appointment only by certain people. It wasn't until the 80s that Creed like opened its doors to everybody, like the Wonka factory.
But think about like if his baseline of what he knew was like, fresh and put together post shave did have those classic aftershave homages, like, so if that's what he associated with and you wanted it to last all day in more of a cologne, I wouldn't be surprised that inspired something in here.
All right.
See what you think. I could be totally crazy.
Take it in. Do you know it's a Creed?
I'm not quite sure. I don't want to say simple's a bad thing because it smells great. But the complexity of it is much more of a contained scent, if that makes sense.
Well, y'all, sometimes the great composers wrote the complex and sometimes they wrote the simple things. But it's funny. Sometimes even like the great piano players will release an album of exercises for the student, for the child. And something about it being played by that amazing, masterful pianist is like, I just hear Gould. I just hear Gould. So like, y'all, sometimes simpler helps bring out the more defining characteristics.
And it's more like a classic simple. It's not a bad, it's just like, it's a very crowd-pleasing kind of lane to be in.
Let's see. Oh, there's that Shannon pour. That
it is, right?
Iridescent, those little white dots in there. I love that. Okay, here we go.
Okay, get a whiff. See, I could totally be crazy. Oh, that was fast.
It's funny that I brought up Silver Mountain Water because it does have a little bit of those dirty herbs and spices in it. Like I called that soap the cleanest, dirtiest soap I've ever smelled, right? Because it's got that beautiful, clean edge of the Creed, but it's using those dirty spices. Y'all, this has got some of those dirty spices, but it goes in a slightly different direction.
Right. Wait, is what I was saying sort of in the correct way?
Yes, and then the top half is completely different. So the bottom half of this is very much a cousin to Silver Mountain Water, but then the top half of this is way sweeter, way softer, way more like a tuxedo jacket, way more like a little floral on it. There's a little bit more in here than those scent notes are kind of letting on.
Right.
Woo! And what I like about that is that you've got two personalities in here that are kind of pulling against each other. Very much sort of a Sinatra-esque vibe, if you've seen The Godfather. So you've got Sinatra that's singing these beautiful songs, and sometimes he would sing sort of funny, silly things that you wouldn't think Sinatra would sing, but he would. He even sang I Shot the Sheriff.
Really?
Y'all. But he did not shoot the deputy. So it's that. It's got that personality of the sweet, softer side where Frank could have sung anything. But then it's got kind of that harder, kind of gangster side.
Love it.
Where Frank Sinatra was always kind of like just maybe he'd ask for a favor at your daughter's wedding. Kind of thing, right?
Maybe.
So it's got both of those in there, but there is something about the gangster side that's oddly compelling and sort of alluring. And then it's got that beautiful side too. Y'all, there's a balance going on here. There's a tug of war happening. Oh, that's nice.
But I still get a fun, there's the cleaner side, there's the greener side, there's something in the middle, but it does have a wonderful masculine side to it. Right. Where I think is coming through, which I definitely understand why he would have worn it.
And you know what? Just for fun, before we make a lather, why don't we look at the actual Creed scent notes? So, y'all, from the website at creedfragrance.com, this is the description of the cologne that this is homaging, Creed Bois de Portugal.
Crisp and rich, this scent opens with juicy citrus notes of lemon and bergamot, which are spiraled together with dry spice extracts of the heart notes. A combination of vetiver, patchouli, and a creamy sandalwood form the base notes which intensify the natural sensuality of this fragrance.
I love how for the middle notes it just says spice, figured out.
Yeah, spice extracts. Dry, but that's what you get.
See, there could be a lot in here that we're not. All right, y'all, so let's see how this sub comes out of the container. Oh, it's got a nice buttery softness to it. That's nice. We're going into our Vanillé bowl from Monica Gillen, deep in the heart of Texas.
Do you get like a white spice?
White spice.
Not an herby spice, but like a white.
Oh.
Like, is that what's making it clean?
A little bit of a clay saffron.
Right, something like that.
Kind of a thing going on here. Hold on a second. This is our Teton brush from Matt up in Idaho. We love this. Is from the Zen series. Little rocks in here. Oh, just enough water in here and some beautiful lather is starting to come out.
I'm excited too. We got the other some of these collabs from Shannon Soap. We also just got the Mars and Venus combo. Right. And we finally were able to get Rebrab. So they're going to be coming back.
We're going to have a whole Shannon day coming up, y'all. So stay tuned for that because that'll be really fun.
It has been too long since we've done a Shannon Soap.
Indeed. And that indigo oud still rocks my world, Shannon.
If people are trying to figure out what oud is, that tends to be, since that was one of the first ones we got our noses on, that kind of felt us, kind of get that scent down. We've sent that to people to kind of be able to have a lane to know where 100%. That goes.
I want you to have a little fun. This is awesome.
Wow, yeah, look at that glossy finish on there. I don't know if that comes across on camera, but that is a fancy, clean, shiny soap here.
I love that my nose kind of has a choice. It's like, do you want to go down into the spiciers or do you want to go up into the sweets? And it meets you right in the middle. That's the mark of a good soap, I think, is like, it's got two qualities. It's like an ink that has a sheen.
Right, you can pick what you want to see.
Right, or do you want to look at the sheen? It's a totally different color. All right, y'all, you're only going to see this in the Barbershop Duet. This is the Lady is a Tramp whiff. On 3, 1, 2. That lady's not a tramp.
No, she's wonderful.
No, she's well taken care of, y'all. This is fantastic.
I don't want to say it's gentle here, but I feel like the whole scent kind of connected in a new way here.
Yes. And I love that it does have that gentle character. Once it's in the lather, it just sort of balances out a little bit.
Right. I really actually think we'd enjoy the splash of this. There's something in here that's super nice.
You know what's funny? It's like just enough floral to not be floral. Oh, that's sweet like a rose. Oh, that's sweet like a horse chestnut. Like, wait, what floral is that? And right before your nose can figure it out, it goes away like the Irish goodbye. And then you're just left with the spices and woods left.
That greenish note in there is somehow a bright green. Not like a green apple, but it's still an herb. But it's the brighter side. The ambergris kind of stays under.
And you know what else? This has a commanding quality that I think Frank Sinatra would have had. There is something about this that makes you want to listen to whatever the guy's saying who's wearing it.
Yeah, I feel like my grandpa that is a pilot and was always dressed up in his nice little getup for going to work. Like, this is something he would have worn. Like, that was his commanding 100%. Role. Pilot would definitely pull this off.
And I know these crooners are awfully good at their bass notes. Let's take this down a little deeper. And y'all, when we do watch our shaving shows, when we see Matthew Lawrence put the lather on his face, we like to watch that part because it tells us a little bit about the base, tells us a little bit about how it covers. So while we don't do shaving on the show, may I do the honors? We want to show you how this covers the face. All right, let's see. Here we go. Y'all, Marcel Marceau sitting right here next to me. Don't say a word. Look at that. Look at that, y'all. Here we go. Yeah, I love it. Oh, thick and beautiful, and goes on in coats. Shannon, it's a fantastic leather. Look
It's
at this
got a
one.
nice slickness going on.
Peaks and
I gotta
valleys going
say,
on. Oh.
there's a slickness happening.
Ooh. You know what's funny? Those bass notes are pulling against the bergamot so hard that I'm having trouble sensing it in the balance. But the lavender is just kind of sitting there like the crown jewel above all of it.
Is there a way? Is it going to be a masculine lavender? Like there's something dry and kind of manly about it. It's still pretty.
I'm not going to throw out of bed for saying that, y'all. This might be the most masculine lavender we've covered so far.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Y'all, well, totally, because it's the end part that it charms away. Like the end part is the most feminine. The end of the lavender whiff, the part that leaves you with that beautiful, like musky laundry scent.
Yeah, right.
But it stops that. It stops that before it gets to it, right? Oh. So my favorite Frank Sinatra story was actually told on Johnny Carson. It was about the time that Frank ran into Don Rickles at the Beverly Hills Hotel. And they were at the restaurant, right? They were having dinner. And Don Rickles walked past Frank Sinatra and he said, "Hey, Frank, listen, I'd really love to impress my date. On the way out, would you just say hi to me?" And Frank said, "Of course, Don, I'd love to." And so Don has his date on his arm and they're leaving the restaurant. And Frank Sinatra stands up and he says, "Hey, Don, great to see you, my friend." And Don Rickles goes, "Piss off, Francis. Can't you see I'm on a date?" And he got his arm! So head over to therazorcompany.com where you'll find this and a ton of other stuff I want. Well, I've had my shave, y'all, with Iberia, and I love this base. Can we just get that out of the way first? Shannon's, it's a fantastic shave. Beautiful, slick, beautifully gliding, beautifully cushioned against my face, and a fantastic post-shave feel. And all of that being said, this scent is kind of magical, and here's why. It does not have the kind of sweet that you're expecting. It is turned way down. It is just sort of a whisper of a sweet, which means that all of the charm and everything else isn't being done with that at its heart. That's not what makes it what it is, and wasn't what made Sinatra what he was either. It was something deeper. It was something more artistic. It wasn't the sweet rose on his lapel. And I love that this scent is a bit reminiscent of that, at least in my imagination, but I can dream, can't I? Yeah. It's got like an apple pear thing going on.
Yeah.
You smoking this? Wait, hold on. This is behind the scenes. There's like an apple pear thing happening. Wow.
Is that more in the base?
It's beautiful.
It smells great. No, I don't think so.
Y'all.
Okay. Maybe the post-shave is going to leave a wonderful zest to your face. I'm just saying. It's not. It's definitely not.
Whoa.
Not.
Welcome to Messages.
Welcome to Messages!
Hey, y'all. So we wanted to share our love for the shave supply and everything Garrett's got going on down there, including a couple of exclusives.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a $20 e-gift card giveaway for y'all! And all you have to do to be eligible is send us an email here to we sent you at thebarbershopduet.com. Check back on September 4th when we draw our lucky name on the show to see if you are our lucky winner.
Best of luck! It's just a crisp side.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is, but something crisp is happening.
It's beautiful. I love this, and I totally get why somebody like Frank Sinatra would want this.
Right,
Much like a song, the more you dive down into it, the more you're going to find.
Right.
I get that, and I totally get why you had the impression that this started out more on the simpler side.
Right, I'm with
But the
you.
more you dive down into that song, the more you realize it's there, like Pockadol's canon.
And it's just the lather. Like, once we put it together, it really kind of came to life in its own way.
Y'all, I know. I can't wait for our next feature.
We did have a few people ask for a scent that smelled like Frank Sinatra, so now you know. Iberia is a good one that vibes.
On a
with
good
that.
night.
At least according to our Google searches, that's where it brought us.
At least
So,
according to Thirsty Badger website.
right. Don't forget your next appointment with Barbershop Duet.
You'll smell better just watching this.